And nothing's going to happen because... Oh, hey, it found it. Okay, the stream key didn't change. Wow. Oh, we're live. Oh, that's it. There we go. We're live now, apparently. And, yep, there we go. Hey, it's everybody. It's Monday night. It's 9:30 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And this is your weekly Calamity Jane live stream. Right away, you're going to see an interesting artifact that we've got 3 screens tonight instead of just the usual 2. James, you want to say hi, and then we will introduce our special guest.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we've enhanced our stream for tonight. We have a special guest tonight. I can introduce Steve.
Yes, please do. Please do. You're far more eloquent than I am.
Steve is a good friend of mine. I worked for Steve back in the day, eons ago, back in Warner Brothers. Great, terrific, world's greatest boss at the time. There's no need to even butter him up this time because we don't work there anymore. So whatever.
Yeah, right. I know exactly. There's no need for all of this,
I'm not trying to
showering him in praise.
I'm not trying to get a window seat or anything now.
Stop.
How's it going, Steve?
It's going good. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you too. So James and I met at Warner Brothers, and that's where we met Steve. That's where I met Steve as well. And so that's so I know Steve too. There you go. That's my contribution. He was never my boss, so I don't feel like I have to pour praise onto him. Yeah.
You got no stake in that.
Let's get right into it.
So there we go. All right. Well, look at this. Steve is the one who's driving this live stream. He doesn't want any of this small talk nonsense. He just wants to get down to business.
Oh, little does he know. That
is literally all this is. Yeah.
I just don't want any more praise.
So in any case, tonight we're going to do something. So what we do on our show is, it's basically, this is a, for Steve, for your edification, we basically we're making the cartoon as we talk about it. And once a week, we work on something, and sometimes, usually it's like art stuff because that's pretty and that's what shows very well. But occasionally we'll talk about writing, occasionally we'll talk about sound and that kind of thing. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of background work. So we're going to be talking about a major location, if you will, for Calamity Jane, the first episode.
And Steve, and on a side note, Steve, we never stay on topic. Like like most of our stream talking about Pokemon and the nuances.
I'm glad that you talked about backgrounds because when at some point I have a special treat to share about backgrounds with you guys.
Oh no! Wow, this is almost like this was scripted. But ladies and gentlemen, this was not scripted.
Nobody has ever seen this before.
All right. Well,
awesome.
let's save that towards the end. We run about a half hour. I don't want to spoil the surprise right away. I want to build to it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Just give us some foreshadowing when you want to give us a secret, so that way I'm looking. I'm trying to check it out too, because I'm gonna
give you a code word.
Okay.
Secret clue.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Took place in Encino.
Oh, Encino. Does this have something to do with Pauly Shore? All right. I'm so ready now. I really wanted to be a caveman.
I'm gonna go into share screen mode, so you guys will still be able to hang out.
Yeah, and so we'll be little bitty boxes on the side of the screen now. But we're still there, and we're still chatting away. We are. Yes. We've been shrunk down, like downsizing the movie, or maybe something a little bit less esoteric, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know immediately why I went immediately to the most esoteric movie I could think of.
I wanted to see that. I haven't seen Downsizing. I was going to see it, but right when it came out, my son was a little too young to watch that together. I think it was R, so I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've heard middling things about it, but I really like Andrew Payne, so I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But in any case, so just for context, who we're looking at here, this is Mitchell Winchester. He is one of our main characters.
He's not the unknown comic, though.
No, well, maybe. No, maybe there may be a little bit of inspiration. He does have a backstory, and maybe he's the unknown comic. we there's definitely resemblance.
That's crazy. See how Eric and I, we kind of live in our own bubble, so we we figure that sometimes we have stuff that's so obscure that no one will really get it. And what's the first thing that Steve does?
He gets it. That's a good sign, or a bad sign. Like maybe that's a portent of lawsuits. I don't know.
Is he a drinking man?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mitchell's
like
definitely.
He's got some kind of pink martini right there.
He does have a pink martini. Yeah. So he's kind of a lounge comic kind of thing, right? And so that's just sort of help establish the mood for him.
So with Mitchell, he runs the saloon in Dry Gulp Gorge, the town where Calamity Jane hangs out at least in this first episode, she shows up there. So he has a saloon, but he also has this house. So for today's subject matter of our stream, we're gonna I'm gonna start doodling his house and just kind of rambling and just saying random stuff as we go.
Yeah.
Just for positioning of where Mitchell's house is.
Let's take a quick look at that map. Oh, look at that. We got 3D. Look at that, Steve.
Oh, I don't know what this is. Is the dot where the guy is?
So
go ahead.
The purple cube is Calamity Jane on her motorcycle. Tinsel. And this is actually James is actually building the establishing shot for the first time she rolls into Dry Gulp Gorge. Now, the what you're in the center of the screen, you're seeing. I assume that's the light source, James. That's what that circle is.
Yeah, I mean, I could just.
Yeah, that's just the light source, and then the direction that it's pointing. And then so yeah, she'll come to a stop in front of one of the gray cubes, and that gray cube, one of the gray cubes, is the Prickly Pear, which is Mitchell Winchester's saloon. Which is that one right there that's highlighted in the orange outline. And then further up the street and to the left, that's Mitchell's house. And so that's the background we're going to be working on today.
Now, I feel really sorry for these people because all they could live in are boxes.
It's a poor town.
It's a poor town done by a shoddy, poor 3D modeler.
3D modeler, yeah.
That's their lot in life. They had to deal with me.
That's right.
So these boxes they're going to each transform one by one into an architectural building, like a house or a warehouse or things like that.
Yeah, eventually. Yep. So we're just
cool. Okay.
What we're doing right now is we're gray boxing it, as you can see from the gray box. And
now, why did they call it gray boxing? No, I'm just.
Well, you see, they used to be orange, and then they decided, well, you know what, gray worked better than orange, and then it just sort of stuck,
can I ask you guys something?
Always.
You can ask anything you want.
Yeah.
We've been on lockdown, and we get a lot of stuff in boxes.
Yes.
Through like Amazon or like even we ordered from Costco or Target. They all have shipped the next day kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I have so many cardboard boxes that it's like cutting up the cardboard boxes and putting them in another cardboard box to get them out of the house. It's been a thing like every week, like breaking down boxes, and it's dangerous because those box cutters are sharp, so like you don't want to mess up. It's a big deal.
I think, though, for me, I feel like you should take that as an opportunity to create a routine for yourself, though, right? Like something to give you a sense of normalcy, something you can look forward to, right? You're not looking at it from the right perspective, I feel like.
I should look forward to breaking down the boxes and just like look at it as like a routine that's like good exercise or something.
Exactly. It's your calisthenics for the day.
I have a confession to make to you guys.
Already.
When this whole lockdown started, I did break down my boxes, but as of 6 months ago, I stopped doing that.
Oh,
what do you do? Throw them out the window?
What I do is I play Tetris. I try to be mindful and I take like smaller boxes and put them into the bigger boxes, and then for some reason that alleviates some of my guilt, and I just throw it into the. I did good enough. I throw it in. So hopefully none none of my fellow neighbors know that and won't get too pissed off at me if they happen to see.
Well, they know now if they're watching our stream because
I've just done
this
a
is
stream confessional of sorts.
Our stream does light the internet on fire every Monday.
That's amazing.
But I do applaud Steve's effort for breaking down the boss.
Yeah, good on you, Steve. Yeah. I actually don't order all that much stuff from the internet anymore. I don't have the money to buy things, and basically I've got everything that I want too. So everything I get now is digital. So I've got a lot of digital garbage,
What about masks? Have you bought any masks online?
So my mother is a store manager at a Walgreens, and they were closing down her store. And they were just getting rid of everything, and someone was throwing away like bags and bags of those blue paper masks. And so I have like 200 masks, and I keep like a bag of 50 in my car, and then whenever I need some, I can always just grab some. So yeah, we're covered. We are so covered.
They call that PPE.
PPE, personal protective equipment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're good. So James, you're running you're running. You were drawing. Those two verbs aren't even remotely similar to each other.
I get the gist of it.
It looks like a house.
Yeah, thanks. Well, that's good. I'll take that.
Woo! Going in the right direction, James.
So I'm trying to do this house. Like, this is storyboard animatic where this is actually Mitchell's house. I guess I'll play it.
Yeah, go ahead.
She runs away from
the
warhog,
right? And then
cuts into Mitchell's house. This timing needs to be a little bit better, but
yeah, it feels a little rushed.
Yeah, but boom, and then the house gets destroyed.
Did a couple of frames get cut or something? Because this feels faster than, I don't know how they would magically have gotten cut, but it feels faster than the last time I reviewed it.
It does to me too, and I don't know whether it's the passage of time. We haven't looked at it in a couple of months.
Yeah,
that's a terrible hiding place.
Good.
Well,
this is all working great because she thinks so too.
Yeah, as you can see, we'll pause it here. We'll watch this sequence one more time. And then
so maybe we could just hit a quick pause. So, because I know that we should see, I know that there's supposed to be a quick bit of a delay when she breaks left. There we go. And yeah, okay.
And then it ticks for a little bit. Then there's a zoom out.
And then we zoom out.
Yeah, and then she runs to it.
And you notice that it was a subtle, it was Mitchell's face on the clock. So that's a subtle hint at whose house this is.
We'll watch one more time here. Yeah, so this is so Mitchell's house actually has his own giant Mickey Mouse clock on the top along the roof window, where because he's kind of I don't know what you want to call him.
I wouldn't define him as a narcissist because he's not. Yeah. He doesn't have any sociopathic tendencies or anything like that. He's just very needy. He's just desperate for approval because he's a very bad stand-up comedian, and the character walks around.
It is the unknown comic. He's a comedian too.
He is. His day job is a bartender.
Character. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh brother. Hey, this is a cartoon about all of our weird things that we like. So don't judge us for liking this.
Yeah, so it ticks away, and then she goes up to the house, and she watches the warhog coming up, and then looks there, sees the swinging chair, and then there's a rocking chair, and she decides to hide behind the rocking chair.
And then she says, "This is not going to work." So she is as aware, that this is not a good hiding spot. But her floppy tail set a chain of events in motion that saves the day.
What happened?
That all happened really fast. The timing is super fast.
What was the first thing with the tail that started the chain of events?
She when she moves to hide behind the rocking tail. So one of her kind of character flaws is because she's a teenager, we wanted to kind of go into, when you're a teenager, you get really awkward about your body. You're growing faster than your brain can compensate, and so you tend to get clumsy. And her tail kind of represents that. Not kind of. It does represent that awkwardness of youth. And so when she's going to hide behind the rocking chair here, her tail flops around and hits the swinging bench. And then she hides behind the rocking chair, right? And completely unaware that she hit the swinging bench. She realizes that hiding behind the rocking chair isn't going to work, but that's okay, because right before the warhog comes, the rocking chair, the hanging bench swings back, knocks her out of the way, and the warhog crashes into Mitchell's front porch.
And then we finally get it's comedy time. It's comedy time.
Right,
it's comedy
exactly.
time. And then all the townspeople catch up to talk to her and talk about the day's events. So that's the house I'm going to be working on as we do our stream today. I'm going to flesh it out a little bit more and discuss with you guys as I go, just for fun, with my ugly chicken scratching imitation of trying to make a house here. So some thoughts I had, guys, was I was going to actually, so there's a porch.
Yep.
So it comes out, there, and then we have the bench here, and we have a rocking chair here. For some reason, I thought I was gonna make like giant columns on both sides, like kind of like these Roman.
What do they call that? That's got a name. The thing, I can't remember what it's called. It's like the little porch thing that sticks out in front of your house.
The awning?
No, it's got a name. It's like an architectural feature.
Huh.
And it's called it's slipping my mind. I can't remember, but I thought that you need that so that it squashes the guy.
Yeah,
we need something overhanging him so that it squashes the warhog. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, in other words, here's the porch right here. Here's the house, and it's like recessed inside.
Right.
Yeah. So then
you're thinking of, rather than like a porch roof, the entire house roof is just extended over the porch, so that it's sort of like extra like realist. So it's more mass over top of it than just like a slanted porch roof.
Well, in the if you were to do, well, let me see here. Actually, let me try to explain from a profile view.
Mm-hmm.
If we're doing this profile, here's the roof
Mm-hmm.
of the house. Here is the rocking chair profile view.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the porch, and then here's the stairs right there.
Okay.
So so the roof is like right here.
Okay.
So this is what will come down and smash the warhog when it comes in.
Okay. So you just needs, we'll definitely need some sort of support structure, columns, or whatever the actual architectural term is.
So I was going to put columns here on the side.
Hey, I just did a Google search for a house. I don't know if you can see this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly. I think
that's what I'm going for, Steve.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Heck, we could just grab that Google image and use that.
Yeah, did you literally just Google house?
I searched for. I did a web search for thing on front porch.
That is better. That's way better. Thing on front porch.
On front porch.
What a great. Your ads are all going to be for like home renovation now.
Yes, so that's exactly what Steve just Googled is exactly what I was kind of going for this house.
And then thing on front porch is in fact the actual architectural term then is what I'm...
That happened to my uncle. He got drunk and passed out on the front porch, and the kids went by and they're like, what's that thing on the front porch?
Oh, James, I see where you get all of your, like, when you were mentor or when you were protegeing underneath Steve.
Yeah, well, there's huge influence, that's for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
So that one window seems kind of far forward.
Yeah, I'm just throwing things in here now. I'm trying to think about how, like, none of this is set in stone. I think the porch thingy that Steve Googled is the what I was going for the house.
Mhm.
I still can't remember what that thing is called.
You did it get Google didn't tell you the name?
It's not a credenza. It's a thing. It's called the like.
Waited with bated breath.
So it turns out that there's no time limit for 2 people, but there is a time limit for 3 people.
Oh.
And I forgot about that, and so we officially have 9 minutes and 30 seconds left, which is fine.
That's good.
That's fine because that's about where we were scheduled to end anyway, so that's fine. But we're gonna have a hard act. Oh, it's not your fault at all.
It's totally Steve's fault.
I just didn't even think about it. I forgot that Zoom has a time limit, and I'm cheap, and I don't pay for the upgrade because usually it's just the 2 of us, and they don't put a time limit on 2 people calls.
Yeah, interestingly enough, because we've been kind of spoiled since we started going on Zoom. That we've kind of gone over a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But it's okay. We got 8 minutes of quality time of Google searches and trying to find names. And
That's
stuff,
right. That's right. Isn't credenza a piece of furniture?
Yeah. I like your house. I think it's pretty cool. It looks like there might be a living space on the top where he comes in the clock tower.
Yeah.
Like, is that like a big vaulted ceiling type of separate room?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like an attic where he kind of does his writing and stuff. I was thinking.
Oh, I love that.
That's just comedy time only at 9, 10 after 9, or like.
It's supposed to be announced on the hour, I assume, Eric, unless you want to chime in.
I will be honest, I wasn't thinking of anything as clever as what Steve is proposing. Like it's this esoteric thing that it's like it actually is at 3:57 p.m. every day, and only Mitchell knows why. But no, I was
comedy time. He jumps in there and it's like, it's comedy time. Like, is that how he introduces comedy time every time?
That is way more clever than what I had. No, it's just every hour on the hour he says his clock says it's comedy time for the number of hours. So it chimes it's comedy time for every hour. It's always comedy time for Mitchell Winchester.
It is. It is always comedy time for Mitchell Winchester. Yes.
But I do like the idea of a scene that and this is out of context of anything, but it's dark in the attic. It's lit only by a small lamp, and it's shot from behind, and we see Mitchell hunched over a desk, right? And the last rays of sunlight are coming in through the window, and I guess he's pulled down the clock at the time. Who cares? And he's just furiously writing on a sheet of paper, and he keeps balling it up and throwing piece of papers away, right?
Does he stay in there a lot because he's an introvert and he's unsuccessful? And is it falling apart because he can't pay the bills? Is it kind of like...
There is an origin story, Steve.
In time?
There is an origin story, yeah. We're not really going into detail right now, but no, Mitchell is a huge extrovert. He's extremely needy and is always looking for attention, but he also doesn't really seem to get that he has no talent. Yeah. But it doesn't stop him from overcompensating.
So with the design of the house, does that mean that he makes the house appear beautiful and extravagant, or is the house like a piece of crap that's starting to fall apart?
He just set up shop in a house that was already there, so if it was falling apart when he got it, it's still falling apart. Honestly, he spends a lot of his time at the Prickly Pear, right? Because that's where all the action in Dry Gulp Gorge is. So his house is more of a place where he just keeps his stuff. But yeah, you will mostly see Mitchell at the Prickly Pear, because that's sort of like, at least where he comes from, that sort of lounge or saloon environment, that's more his native state of being. And any opportunity for an audience, and he's just not going to get much of an audience at his house.
Well, since we're watching James design the house right now, James, what do you have in mind when you think about the house? Are there any exterior features or things that, or are you more focused right now on the staging so that gag sequence works in the front part?
The gag scene already pretty much works except for timing wise in the animatic. And now I'm thinking more along the lines of the superficial stuff of what the house looks like Like, is it kind of gaudy and sort of like a little over extravagant? But then that kind of goes into more narcissistic kind of tendencies. So,
well, for me again, like my imagination for Mitchell's house this is just a place that he might even be squatting in it. Honestly,
that's true.
He showed up in Dry Gulp Gorge one day, and Dry Gulp Gorge is a very just sort of, nah, like they just whatever, they take it as it comes. You know, they're all pretty laid back, and Mitchell shows up, and he just sort of, there's this house that's already there. He did not build this house, in my mind, at least. The house was already in Dry Gulp Gorge when he
said,
showed up.
this looks like a great house to live in. And he just kind of,
exactly. If there was a change of deed, I guess that's possible, but it probably wasn't official, and it was probably written up in crayon, and nobody certainly notarized it.
That's interesting. So the house is almost a mismatched house for this guy.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah.
And the same could be said about it, even his bar. The bar itself is really, I don't know, lack of better term, funky.
And that is part of the character, actually. And again, I can, if you're curious after this we go off, I can restart the Zoom and we can fill you in on the details. But he very much is a character
I'm
who is
only feigning interest for the sake of our viewer.
Well, we appreciate that, Steve.
We do appreciate that. I love it. That's fantastic. I love it. I'm very happy with that. In any case.
Hey, would you like to see my special?
Oh yeah, we should. We've got 3 minutes left.
Yeah, 3 minutes, Steve. So you got to give us a surprise. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's time.
So we go full screen on Steve or what?
Go ahead and stop sharing so we can go back to gallery view, and then I can pin Steve's thing.
Okay.
No, don't pin it.
Oh.
This is got to be live only.
No. Yeah, I'm just making you the center stage.
So, back in the late 90s, I lived in this house. You can see I'm the guy here. My job was to scoop bugs out of a swimming pool.
Was that your house living in?
My house. Davi and my wife and we lived in a house. Now, you see, there's something in the middle of the water with some little palm trees.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
So, what that is here's another shot of me. I have my pool net for scooping out bugs. I was really skinny back then. There's my house. Now there's a background.
Yeah.
Of clouds.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
See that? Now what that is Bikini Bottom.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, awesome. That is so cool.
To a popular TV cartoon.
Wow. They actually filmed that at your house?
Yeah, but I was really good at catching the bugs. I made sure there were no bugs at all in the shot loading cast.
Wow.
So your contribution to the opening credits of SpongeBob SquarePants is that you kept the bugs away from the shoot.
Not one bug was in the shot. If you've ever seen SpongeBob.
No, I admit, I have never, ever seen a bug in the opening credits of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wow. Nice work, Steve.
That is great. Yeah, well done, sir. I applaud your ability to catch bugs. Well, we've got a minute left. I think that was a great way to end the night.
Yeah.
We had our all-time high viewership of 4 concurrent viewers tonight.
Yes. Fours of people have watched.
4 people. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's ones of viewers.
Yeah.
Ones of viewers.
So I'm gonna say goodnight. We got less than a minute. Thanks so much, Steve, for joining us. It was an absolute blast to have you, and perhaps we'll have you again someday so you can feign more interest.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you,
so much,
Steve.
Steve.
All
I can't wait to see how your house turns out.
Yeah, we'll definitely show it to you for sure. Okay. Night, everybody.
Bye.